Madden NFL 22 on EA Sports. And the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Colts and the Browns on EA Sports.
We've had a driving rainstorm make its way through the plains, and it definitely is going to be a factor here this afternoon at a power field at Mile High in Denver. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Cleveland Browns. Welcome again, everybody, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and yes, the rain is falling now, and it is supposed to continue to fall throughout this game. So how do you think that will impact this contest?
Well, first and foremost, both quarterbacks are going to make sure the officials have those dry footballs coming in each and every play and standing over them sometimes with a towel before the center gets up there to snap it. Second thing is the focus of all the guys who handle the football. Do they wear gloves? Do they take them off? Will they carry the ball high and tight to make sure they have good ball security? That's paramount in a game like this.
And off we go from Denver. Peoples-Jones returning. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Oklahoma product, Baker Mayfield, trotting out there now with the rest of this Browns offense.
And he's a guy who plays with a lot of emotion. He's learned how to channel it really positively, because when he throws the football downfield and makes a big play, he'll be the first guy downfield to celebrate with you. But also, when his team needs that confidence, when they need that jolt, they turn to him, and he's ready to provide it.
A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
On 2nd and 12, Mayfield. Buying time to his left. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for third down. Mayfield looks to throw. Got a man, that's Rashard Higgins. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. And he went in and out there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes, because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well run route.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Play fake. Mayfield. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They'll go screen here to Hunt. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That one good for only 6, and it leaves them with a 4th down. So, Charles, first drive here, little safe completion underneath. Maybe get some rhythm, get your feet wet, so to speak.
I agree, and I like it because it's a lot like a basketball game when you're getting started and you pass the ball around so everyone touches it early and gets involved in the game. In this case, it's not just dumping it to a back and he's able to run with the ball, but you get your offensive linemen involved because they get to get out and run and hit people in the open field. Everyone getting their feet wet early.
On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. Back deep for the Colts, Nyheim Hines. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their 6'5" quarterback out of North Dakota State. It's Carson Wentz.
And when you look at him, you see that he's got all the tools you want in a quarterback. The big frame, the quick release, strong arm, has escapability. The issue sometimes tries to do too much instead of just taking the throws that are available to him, and occasionally turnovers get him into trouble.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. From the gun, it's Wentz. This will be taken in by Michael Pittman.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Get ready, get ready.
To throw is Wentz. Oh, now a strip. He loses the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. So a first-quarter fumble in the rain, and this isn't supposed to let up. They've had flash flood warnings just west of here, so they better get used to this.
And it's hard to do real early in the game because you're so amped up and you're trying to do so much. You've got to get used to it, though. You've got to focus in on the ball, make sure you're taking care of it. That one cost them.
Mayfield now after the fumble recovery. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hunt. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll be 2nd and about a yard to go for the first. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And he's got the hook up to Landry.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Here we go now on 1st and goal. They'll run with Chubb. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. From the gun, Mayfield. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Mayfield finding Odell Beckham with a touchdown pass. And the Browns have taken the early lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed.
And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. So you can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Jordan Elliott coming right up the gut, gets in there for a loss of 9. He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage, well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
Back quite a ways here, facing 2nd and 19. Wentz going to give this to Taylor. Give him 4 yards there, but still in a big hole. 3rd and long.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. That's into the hands of Pascal. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. JoJo Nats in back deep. Fair catch called for. No gimme in these conditions, but he's able to look this one in. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They begin this drive with Chubb. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Probably the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Mayfield on play action. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. Mayfield. And this incomplete. Oh, my. He might have been celebrating in the end zone if he'd held on. Nearly picked, but instead, it'll bring up 4th down. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
Throwing to start the drive, but that went incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on first down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who can make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10. Nyheim Hines, his first carry, gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
On 3rd down, Hines, and they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
4th and short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the first quarter.
On your own side of the field.
Side of the field. But, boy, what a tone setter that would be to go for it and get it, wouldn't it?
You're gritty today. I like it.
I'm feeling it.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Another opportunity now for the Browns offense. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Tight end Harrison Bryant, the intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
The coverage was good, but I just wonder if they absolutely fooled the quarterback on that play. I think he was expecting something else. Ended up with nowhere to throw the football successfully.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down, and he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
And force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
On third down, Mayfield. And that will be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a fourth down. Well done.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on to punt for Cleveland. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Indy set to go on offense once more. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it up. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Shotgun now for Wentz. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here.
A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Wentz. The pass underneath. Here's Hines with it. And they will rally and stop him short of the first down. They get him to the ground at the 26. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Browns set to take over, and they're coming off a 3 and out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't come before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. He's got a man wide open. It's Landry. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big connection on that one. 31 yards.
The timing was absolutely true as he caught it working across the field. Plenty of space for him to roam, but notice how he keeps his head on a swivel, looking for defenders who may crop up out of nowhere. That turned into a big play.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Here's Mayfield. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you had. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Mayfield to throw it. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. Going to the air again with Mayfield. Dancing to his left. And Mayfield will have a first down as he's able to slide to avoid the contact there at the end of the play.
These type of plays are backbreakers for a defense. They thought they had him hemmed in, thought they were going to get him on the ground with the pass rush, but were unable to do so. He gets away, picks up a big first down, and sets up 1st and goal inside the 10.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, a 9-yard touchdown run. And the Browns lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ballgame. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know it sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
Parkey with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. Throwing now is Wentz. Taken in by the tight end Doyle. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They fake the give. Now Wentz. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. On 2nd and 10, Wentz. Middle of the field to the tight end Doyle. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 45-yard line. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Colts in possession. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Wentz. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. second down. It's Taylor, and he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here.
I think I like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Taylor. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now Wentz. This goes out right to Doyle. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
That's certainly one way to beat the blitz. Get it out of your hands quickly. Get it to the big fella.
Very effective. Saw the pressure, got rid of it, and the completion ensued. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Here's Wentz to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Rodrigo Blankenship for the Colts field goal. From the right hash, this from 45 yards away. Blankenship's kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So not exactly the response they were hoping for, but they'll take the 3 to at least get them on the score sheet.
Yeah, now is not the time to panic. All is well, somewhat calm, only down 14-0. So continue to play your game, take the points when they're there, and put the emphasis on your defense to go out and get you the football back.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right. Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Mayfield gives this one to Hunt. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Throwing, Mayfield. Dumps this to his running back, Chubb. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a first down.
First down, Mayfield. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. They're going for a receiver there. Already has one touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
And finding the tight end, Hooper. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
The Browns on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. He's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
And the holder's going to keep it. He's going to try to run for it. It would have been a long field goal. The fake doesn't work out. And the Colts are going to take over with a football. Now Jonathan Taylor and the Colts offense retakes center stage. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Touchdown, Colts! Jonathan Taylor, 63 yards. And the Colts strike quickly here for 6 points. Well, and this is where quarterbacks' passing numbers sometimes get a little bit more inflated than they should, because this is a short little pass, but it goes for big yardage.
Yeah, and this just looked like a simple, ordinary play to start, but boy, did things change. Once he got free, it was off to the races, and once he hit high gear, there's absolutely no one who was going to stop him.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And the lead is down to 4. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes, but right now, he's got his...
And he lost the football, and the Colts pick it up. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Here's Carson Wentz now with the rest of his offensive unit head. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. And the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And the Colts are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. CD, he tried to kind of lob that one in there. It looked pretty going through the air. The problem was it was in the air a little bit too long.
Yeah, that's a tough one because for that type of a route and what he tried to do and needed to do, he had to put a little air under it, and the defender was actually able to take advantage of it because it hung up there just long enough for him to get there and take it away.
They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. The tackle there by John Johnson.
Nice satisfying run on first down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
5 yards remain on second down. They'll run the toss here with Taylor. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
Well, that was not what you would call straight line pursuit for a middle linebacker to make this play. He's got to work his way through the clutter to get to the ball carrier on the outside, and he does exactly that. That's called avoiding the trash.
The Colts on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Wentz will give to Taylor on the draw. And he is not going to get the first down as he'll spot this at about the 28. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. There's Baker Mayfield as he and the Browns offense comes back out. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A run for Nick Chubb. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
first and 10, Mayfield. And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
From the 38, Mayfield. And that one going to come up short. Low throw. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think you might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
The Browns on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Mayfield looks to throw. He'll leave it for Hunt, complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, to me, there was no question about the intent there, and I think he was a little fortunate that the penalty flag didn't come out for grounding. But he'll get away with it and get another shot on 3rd down.
The Browns on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 10. Now Mayfield. Now he'll escape to his left.
And Mayfield will have a first down as he's able to slide to avoid the contact there at the end of the play.
Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Mayfield now. It fights him off. Flushed out right. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. They'll get 5 out of the scramble and hit 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
Chubb.
And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
So now the Browns will turn it over to their field goal unit here. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Parkey's kick is good. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10.
So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the two teams here in the first half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
Now following the made field goal to kick this one off.
Here's Isaiah Rodgers to return. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Colt offense and T.Y. Hilton making their way back out.
With them losing here in the second quarter and his limited productivity so far, you'd have to think they're going to try to look to him a little bit more, right?
I would guess you would start to see maybe some quick screens, some hitches, anything to get the ball in his hands quickly and let him try and do some damage after the catch. Or maybe just flip some formations and keep him isolated where it's more of a one-on-one route and get the ball to him.
I say just 4 verts, right?
Hey, why not? 4 verts. One of the best routes in football. Hard to cover each guy all the way along the route.
So far, just 1 catch for him. They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Wentz going to throw.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
The Colts on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Wentz now to throw. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a 1st down.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
From midfield, here's Wentz.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
Picked off by Anthony Walker.
And the Browns will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. Boy, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. A nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes, those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory.
40 yards on the ground for him so far.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. You in just a couple of minutes. We'll get you to Orlando and our good friend Jonathan Coachman. Coach will run through some of the numbers and the next-gen stats from this first half of football so far.
And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Mayfield looking for the out route. It's completed to Landry. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Now that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
Here's Jamie Gillen now. He's been terrific so far. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback.
Indianapolis offense ready to go again.
And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
And Wentz going to slide to a stop. He does have the first down.
The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. To throw, it's Wentz.
He'll dump this off to Taylor, complete.
Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Eight yards to go on 2nd down.
Wentz. Pascal able to haul that one in. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big play that time through the air. 31 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end. How about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Throwing is Wentz. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that is incomplete.
He certainly had a good game throwing the ball so far, but I think he was trying to take that from good to great with that throw, trying to get one downfield.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Wentz.
He'll get this off to Taylor.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And this will be off the right upright, but he banks it in. A high degree of difficulty there, but he gets it to go. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome, everyone, to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for the Colts. And they've had plenty of success throwing the football so far this afternoon, as they're on pace to throw for over 300 yards if their form holds. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they weren't quite as successful throwing the ball as their counterparts were, but they still were able to move the ball reasonably well in that first half.
Okay, Coach, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Rodgers on the return. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
2nd and 5. Throwing now is Wentz. A good throw here, finding Pascal. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On the handoff, this is Taylor. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They run once more with Taylor. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 45 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
On 1st down, Wentz. The toss here completed to Pittman. On 2nd down, it's Taylor. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Back to Taylor on first down.
And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Now a handoff. Taylor with it.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Into the red zone. Wentz. Taken in by Pascal out left. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. To throw is Wentz. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
We need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Here's Wentz to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward.
And the Browns are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the 3rd quarter.
And their defense just helped them out by getting the football back on the opening drive here of the 2nd half. And now can the offense follow through with points on their first possession?
And that's a big one for them, because after the work the defense has done,
fighting through, and he's got space. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
73 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Chubb. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Well, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Second and 7.
Out of the gun, they run it with Hunt. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Well, Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They'll try to throw here. Mayfield. This pass complete to Higgins. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 16 yards and 2 straight plays of 16 yards and another first down.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. A gain of 6 there on first.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does? It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. He's one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
They'll try and run it in with Janovich, the fullback. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Andy Janovich taking it in from a yard out. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the third quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
Parkey adds the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. The score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. And here's Rodgers to return. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Colts set to take over here offensively. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now Wentz. Middle of the field, he finds Pascal. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Draw play. This is Hines. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Heading out is the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A 1st down throw for Mayfield. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Mayfield looks to throw. He finds his target, Beckham. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down, and he's got the hook up to Landry. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well, great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
They run. Chubb. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back.
And they get Jack Conklin there, the right tackle.
They run it again with Chubb.
90 yards rushing for him now to this point.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Here's Mayfield. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
Here's Jamie Gillen now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Now Jonathan Taylor and the Colts offense retakes center stage.
And as the numbers show, he really wasn't in the mix at the beginning, but they've got him in the rotation now, and it's proved a good move.
And that's what happens when you're a good player. There's a lot more attention drawn to you, and it's obvious that they had him in their game plan on defense, not letting him get off to a good start, but he's found a way so far here in the second half.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
But these guys got to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Working from the gun, Wentz. That's into the hands of Pascal. He's at the 50. 10, 5, touchdown, Indianapolis. Zach Pascal, 95 yards. And the Colts able to get this back within a touchdown.
Well, we know that he can beat you in a number of ways. He can catch it short, he can take it long, or he can do what we just saw right there, catch it and then run with the football.
And talk about a quick answer. This looked like a missed assignment. You'd think someone would be able to rein him in after he makes this catch, but he's so slippery in the open field, he's able to take it all the way to the end zone.
Wentz going to look to throw. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And with it, they're back within a field goal. I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call. And he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion. And now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. And the stats on the screen tell the story. A great start. This defense, they made some good adjustments, though. He's fallen off since.
Have to like what they did at the half, but you also have to like the fact that they hung in there. Despite the fact they had a tough first half, he was locked in, right? Rocking and rolling. They came out, made their adjustments, got their confidence back. Now they're causing him all sorts of trouble.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Mayfield on play action.
And he'll take a shot here for Hooper downfield.
He's got a man complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10.
First down, Mayfield. And incomplete.
Anthony Schwartz, the intended target.
And that'll bring up 2nd down.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
A good action to this point in the 3rd quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10.
Now Mayfield. And he completes it to Hunt. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A big connection on that one. 30 yards.
A very nice job right there, working the middle of the field, able to create some separation and then utilize it to not just make the catch, but turn upfield once he got the ball in his hands.
Now a a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. They'll run with Chubb. That's a gain of 7, and we'll leave them with 2nd and goal coming up.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
The lone man in the backfield here is Chubb on 2nd and goal. Mayfield to throw it. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Rashard Higgins there to make the grab. And the Browns are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Parkey with the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it's capped off by the Browns' touchdown. The score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. Rodgers on the return. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. In for the sack, Myles Garrett. And they won't be able to run another play. Time has expired on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. It's the Colts, so they've got on Wentz is intercepted yet again. Troy Hill picks it, and he'll bring it back to the 9-yard line. They had him back deep, got the interception, and now they start inside the 10.
Partner forgets starting inside the red zone. They're inside the green zone. From the 10-yard line in, a lot of teams call it that because that's the money zone. Get it into the end zone and make your cash.
And now the Browns coming out on the field. They have to like the position that they are in. 4th quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT. Following the interception, Mayfield escaping the pressure right. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the 1st down marker. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
On 2nd and goal, Mayfield eluding the pressure right. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did there to make that play.
And you can just see that whole play developing. That's where, as a defender, you just lock in on your target and say, I'm not even thinking about breaking stride. I'm running straight for the belt buckle because where it goes, that's where you find his body. And he was able to get in there and make a great play.
Well, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal.
Mayfield down. Steps, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Baker Mayfield taking it in for 4 yards out. And the Browns take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. Parkey adds the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. After the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. They go back to the air here after the INT on the left. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
It seemed like he kept going through those progressions, and I thought he might dump that underneath, but he couldn't get rid of the football in time.
And I have to wonder if he was thinking while he was back there, I wish there were a lot less progressions on this play, just someone that I can dump the ball to and get it out of my hands.
2nd and 16.
Another try after the 1st down sack. Wentz. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
The Colts on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion and 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 16. Wentz. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Greedy Williams picks it off. Well, just another reason to celebrate there on the defensive side with the interception, and this is a game that they clearly have firmly in their grasp.
Yeah, a lot of handshakes, a lot of hugs, a lot of smiles. It's been their day.
Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Mayfield gives this one to Hunt. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. Solid running on the carry, but still brought down just inside the 40. The 2nd down play, not much better than the 1st. Just a gain of 1 there.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And again, it's Chubb. And he'll only get this to about the 35. Well short of the line to gain. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, That's a big day.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. He had the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, and this score will stay right where it is. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the fourth quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory, like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. To throw, it's Wentz. And Pascal's got it. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Let's go. Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now. I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout. And all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And his throw is incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Wentz now to throw. He'll check this down to Hines. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Wentz to throw again. So that'll be no better than an incompletion, and that'll make it 2nd and 10.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
To throw again on 2nd down. Wentz.
They'll set up the screen to Taylor.
And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. Now Wentz on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of the story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to it?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Peoples-Jones returning. And he returns this to the 22.
Come on now, let's go.
Cleveland offense making their way out.
Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Meanwhile, Mayfield's throw complete there to Beckham.
And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era. We think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. His throw incomplete. He was looking for Odell Beckham that time. And it's second down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Mayfield.
And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there? This has been a tough game. So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. Throwing, Mayfield. And that's incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. And now Indianapolis set to take the field.
Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. A carry by Taylor to start the drive.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
2nd down, another run with Taylor.
And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. The Colts on 3rd down. They've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. This will be 3rd and 6. Throwing now is Wentz. And that is incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on third down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down.
Indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Now Wentz, gotta have this one. Complete to Hilton. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
They'll run on first down. It's Hines, and he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, it's Wentz.
He'll take a shot downfield for Pittman.
And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts. This time on third down.
So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. They'll go for it. It's Wentz. And able to catch it, but he's out of bounds. And the throw took it beyond the sideline, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. Well, they clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? Hey, you want to go for it here? We shut you down? They're over on the bench right now feeling great.
Play fake. Mayfield. He completes it to Beckham. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. yards away. And the Browns have pretty well put it away here in the fourth quarter. This one now, Charles, you'd have to think all but over.
I would agree with that because this offensive line, they've been physical from the first snap of the game, and it's taken a toll on this defense. And it was never more evident than on that play right there. They continue to move the line of scrimmage forward, and they open up enough space there to get their guy into the end zone.
Parkey with the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and Kareem Hunt the one to finish it off as he did so with a touchdown run. Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away.
The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. Indy set to go on offense once more.
And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for it. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence. Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Wentz now on 1st down. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide because that's prime pick-6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the 3rd row.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now Wentz. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I believe the Colts were able to fall on this when they were. And so possession will remain with Indy. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball is squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. This to Hines on the drop-off. And he'll be out right at the 35. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of a first as that leads to 4th down. He's having a big game through the air, and sometimes those smart decisions just dump it off. That's how you continue to have big games through the air.
I agree totally. That's a great analogy, a great way to put it, because he doesn't get too greedy where everything has to be pushed downfield, trying to create big plays that aren't there. You dump it off and take that nice gain, and things add up, and now you have the kind of game he's having.
Wentz going to go on 4th down. Looking deep for Hilton. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. The Colts unable to convert here on 4th down. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up.
And Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the first down. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. So now the Browns will turn it over to their field goal unit here. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. And that will extend the lead out to 24. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Now following the made field goal to kick this one off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Colts coming out now. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
After what they faced during this game, where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, there has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Wentz. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. Now after the sack, Wentz and the Colts, they're left looking at a 3rd and long. On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. It's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.